The highlights of my years at GV include really getting to know students and their family and our staff members. I really appreciate that I get to teach the same students in French year after year and get to know them. It's also been really interesting to divide my time and get to know a different group of students, like those in AVID and those in Yearbook, and to interact with a variety of students both through classes and clubs.
My most memorable moment in Golden Valley has been, I'd have to say, getting the Chromebooks out to all the students. Incorporating technology into the classroom, something I've been very passionate about. So finally getting that dream realized was really exciting for me to see.
All my year here at Golden Valley High School are very good, and time flies. It seems that not long, but already 17 years. So it's time for me to leave. So I am sorry not to be able to work here at Golden Valley. However, my job here, I try to do my best, but I cannot contribute a lot for the school. So sorry about whatever I make mistake here. And I think I will miss Golden Valley High School and all people here, because you all people here at GV are very good people. So when I'm not here, take care each other when whatever happens. Thank you.
I think, as I spoke about before, is watching the graduation, watching students that come here struggling, haven't been away from this kind of stair-step environment in elementary school and middle school, and they come here and you can kind of watch them while they're in awe. The number of people they have to associate with, the number of places they have to go that are different, the teachers they have to see. They're even blown away by the size of the students, because you got to remember they're coming from little schools. Now they're looking at guys that are 6'1", 6'2", and weigh 280. So watching that, watching them being so surprised, so overwhelmed, and then watching that same student in 2 years start to grow, and in the third year, big time junior, and in that fourth year, senior, and then watching that same student that was shaken turn around and be a mentor to someone that's just like them. I think that right there is the thing I know that keeps teachers coming back, and that's the thing that I will remember most, because I've got to be up close and personal with them. Probably for a lot longer and for a lot more different reasons than teachers, and so it's just a joy to watch. I'll always remember that.
Wow, I am one of the originals. There's not too many of us, and now there'll be even one fewer. We opened this school 22 years ago. Highlights: opening a new school. No pencil sharpeners, nothing when we opened. No books. Track-wise, some people don't know that I was a track and cross-country coach when this school opened. Highlights regarding that, we're having some state champions, being fortunate enough to coach some really, really talented, good, young people who are now probably middle-aged. And taking on different challenges were highlights, as far as moving over doing AP statistics, and then trying to do athletic directorship duties. All of those are highlights.
Words of farewell or wisdom. I'm definitely going to miss GV, so one word of farewell would be that I will miss everyone, and I don't want to leave behind most of my colleagues. I really enjoy working here with this group of staff, and I would encourage everyone to participate in our school and continue to make it a really great, fun, educational environment that it is.
Enjoy every moment while you can. It goes by way faster than you realize.
Well, let's start with teachers and administrators and people who deal with the students on a different level than I do. I think, this is just my personal thought, okay? I think in today's world, we're into too much of thinking in terms of percentages, right? And numbers and percentages of standards, graduation rates, and so on. All those things that I just talked about all involve people. And in this case, we're talking students. And I think as a whole, the people who administer high school education have to step back from that and start thinking more on an individual level when they're dealing with students. And not look at them so much as percentages. I think one of the things that I remember is going to one of these beginning year rallies, and you might have remember some of those not for the students, but for the staff members from all the high schools, teachers, classified, unclassified staff, and they'd bring us all in and show us this big jumbotron of all these percentages, our graduation rates, and this is up, and this is up, and this is up. But me being on the ground floor out here, so to speak, and getting to look in these guys' eyes one-on-one, right, know that what I'm looking at here and what I'm seeing when I'm talking to these students about the difficulties they're having with school, difficulties they're having at home, difficulties they're having with discipline here, being here, trying to adhere to the standards that are set before them here, it's a lot different than looking at that graph, right? So, in my mind, that connection needs to be a whole lot better. They're not numbers, they're not percentages, they're individuals. We have to look at them as so. I'm not talking about being milquetoast and soft soap and not ensuring standards are met. Not talking about that at all. I'm talking about simply the way we view the individuals. Got to look at them as individuals. They're not, you know, and I know how all this gets reported. It doesn't get reported as individuals. It gets reported as numbers, right? So the higher the number, the bigger the pat on the back from whoever does the patting, right? But what does that mean to the individual that's out here? You know, how does that change that person's life? That's what I think. That's what we need to make a connection. For the students, if I had a message for students, for that freshman that comes in here, don't waste your time. A freshman that comes to high school is conditioned to believe that they're in school for 9 months, right? And what they're thinking when they come to high school, they take that 9 months and they multiply that by 4 years. And they say, wow, you know, hey, I can, you know, I'm going to be hanging around here for 4 years, right? But what they don't get is they're not here for 4 years. They're not here for 4 years classroom time. All the holidays are out. The half days here, half days there, and so on and so on and so on. And it breaks down to maybe 7 months, 6.5, right, that they're really in school. But if they come here with that mindset of, oh, you know, I can kind of be lax in my freshman year because I still got 3 years to catch up. And then come sophomore year, heck, I still got another couple of years to catch up, get these grades up and so forth. And then by the time the end of the sophomore year rolls around, they kind of look to, whoa, next year I'm a junior, right? And my grades aren't up. So now I'm in mass panic, right? I'm frustrated, right? I'm still having to deal with all the junk at home and school and so forth I've had to deal with all along. Now, I've incurred some stuff I put on myself because I've wasted my time, you see? And now I'm in panic mode. Some of you might be able to relate to some of that, okay? So my message to a student coming into high school today, don't waste your time. Set your standard high. Don't expect the standard to change just because of you. For you baseball players, home plate is 17 inches, right? If you're a pitcher, right, and you're not a good pitcher, they don't extend the plate, right? They don't make it bigger, right? They expect you to get the ball over the plate, right? They might give you more time and tell you to come work a little early, stay a little later, but they're not going to change this plate just because you can't get the ball over the plate. Don't expect the standards to change because of you. You have to meet, and my advice would be exceed the standards. The C, anybody should get a C. You should get a C for coming to school, right? I mean, C, right? C should be the standard. Exceed the standard. Because that's what's going to be expected from you, as you can probably feel by now, when you leave here, right? And when you start getting maybe looked at for scholarships and jobs and internships and so on, right? They're not looking for people to just be standard, right? They're looking for people to be hired. And that's what I would tell students. Don't waste your time. Don't expect the standard to change. And always strive to exceed the standard.
I don't know. Words of wisdom. Main thing I always try to remember is that we're in it for the kids. And part of the reason why I'm making a change in my life right now is for my kids. And hopefully better conditions for my young ones. Some people think they're my grandkids, but they are actually my children. And that hopefully that they can be successful just like those that have graduated from here. Another highlight I had here was having my son, who's now at a UC, come right through Golden Valley. When people ask, why Golden Valley? My response is, why not? We do great things at this school.